Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
Well, yes, it is winter. Officially, a couple of weeks ago, actually, it was last week it officially
That's
kicked in.
last week, yeah.
Yeah, and with that, we have more cold, flu, coronavirus kicking up here and there a little bit. So you want to stay obviously as healthy as possible. So today we're going to talk about supplements that you should be taking during the winter. She knows all about it. She is a board certified pharmacotherapy specialist, a Reiki master, intuitive. You're also a certified mindfulness teacher. Do I have that right? I want to make sure I do.
You do.
Okay, excellent. And if I didn't say it, I'm going to say it. Author, speaker, Lisa Nezneski. Dr. Lisa Nezneski joins us once again. How you doing today, Lisa?
I'm doing just fine, Steve. And you?
Doing well, doing well. I'm going to be honest. For the first time this year, I'm feeling like maybe something might be coming on. You ever get that feeling that's like kind of
Oh,
cold?
yeah.
I hope not. Maybe just more sleep. But then again, after the holidays, you spend time around people and hope you don't catch something. But that being said, supplements, things that we should be taking during the winter to boost our immune system and also make us more healthy. What are we thinking here?
Well, starting off with vitamin C. Vitamin C is so important for wound healing,
Mm,
for your immune system. You know, the adrenal gland is the source of your vitamin C in your body. And so, since I've only got one of those now instead of two, I typically take the liquid form of vitamin C. It's called Emergency.
mhm.
It's fizzy. I like this blue flavored, but certainly any vitamin C. This uh, fizzes a little bit. It's sort of like Alka-Seltzer, but tastes so much better. There's 1,000 milligrams of vitamin C in this, so it's super potent. There's debate as to how much vitamin C you actually need. Remember that vitamin C is a water soluble vitamin, so anything extra that your body doesn't need will be excreted on a daily basis. Another thing to remember that as if you're out and about among people and someone cuts you off in traffic, or you have to slam on the brakes and you have that little rush of adrenaline, you've probably depleted all of your vitamin C for the day in that one little episode.
What?
So,
Whoa. Wait a second.
yeah,
So that's how vitamin C is used. So let's say you have
sort of,
reserves
yeah,
store, and
yeah.
if you had a stressful moment or something like that, you could have just used it and you're done.
Burned it up. Yeah, along with the B vitamins. This is B complex. So
Aye.
these are two water soluble vitamins, and you do
Mm.
use them up quickly, especially during a stressful event. So vitamin C, helpful to take every day in the winter. The B vitamins, not only are they your stress vitamins, and they really help you in a number of different ways. The majority of us get B vitamins from our foods. They're available in supplemented breads and wheat. They added to foods, enriched. If you see enriched, that's what it means.
Mm.
But B vitamins also help your mood. They can help in depression, and we've already mentioned stress. So they're also important for proper digestion. So they're really a fundamental vitamin that you absolutely do need. I see a
Wow.
question on your face. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm so glad we talked about this because even what you've said in literally a couple of minutes, so impactful. Vitamin C, and I used to take vitamin C religiously, and I kicked back on it years ago. I don't know why. I was just like, I probably don't need to do this. Um, what's a reasonable amount to take? I always heard it's, minimum like 1,000 milligrams. What do you think?
Well, the upper limit of vitamin C is around 2,000 milligrams. You can get it in oranges and orange juice. The red vegetables like peppers, red peppers are huge in vitamin C, and of course
Hmm.
tomatoes. So the upper limit, I would say, is 2,000, and anything under that should be safe. Now, you
Okay.
will know if you get too much vitamin C because you will get some nausea and some diarrhea.
Okay.
So
You're
if you
saying if you
try to,
take too much?
yes,
Okay.
if you load up on vitamin C and all of a sudden you start to have diarrhea, you've hit the upper limit. Your body's excreting it.
Hmm. It's got to
So
get
there's
rid
a
of it some way.
true, but there's a fail-safe mechanism. So you really can't overdose, if you will, on vitamin C.
Okay. How much vitamin C? Because we always used to hear, um, you're talking about orange juice, and everybody was, oh, I'm going to have my glass of vitamin C today. How much is really in that?
It's actually very little. I
Yeah.
wouldn't say it's less than 50 milligrams. So,
Mm,
the issue with getting vitamins in your foods, number one, they're bioavailable. So, in other words, the vitamins you get from your food are in a readily usable format. So there's a whole school of thought to get all of your vitamins in your food, but our food is deplete in minerals and in vitamins simply because of the way that in the United States we've done mass food production.
right. So
So
really,
it's
it's
yeah,
what we're saying here is it's best to get it in your food, but don't count on it. And when you talk about, less than 50 milligrams of vitamin C in your orange juice, that kind of squashes that whole, we're talking 1,000 over here. It's like
correct.
if you're really, and I love orange juice, actually had it yesterday for the first time in a long time, but it's you're you're ingesting a lot of sugar. Do you
You are.
really want to? Yeah, it tastes great. Do you need that whole glass just to get the nice feeling that you get from orange juice? No, you probably could do like that and say, that was good. Because in terms of vitamin C, it's almost what's the point? I hate to say that, but in the big picture.
Well, exactly. It's helpful, but not. Uh, you're putting building blocks together, so it's one building block amongst other things that you're going to be
Gotcha.
doing.
Okay. On the B complex, Lisa,
Sure.
what's a good amount to take?
Well, I'm way into stress because of my life, as well as understanding how it works and on your body, and what to do to nip it. And I keep these B complex 100s around for days that I know are going to be really stressful. Like uh, next Tuesday, it'll be back to work after a week or so plus off of for the winter holidays. So for sure I'll be taking my B complex on that day. what
Hmm.
what it will do is it's a cofactor. There are so many of them. There's niacin, thiamine, and so on, pyridoxine. Those are the top three that come to mind. They all work together in your metabolism in the way that your mitochondria, the cell's powerhouse, has to have vitamin B vitamins for it to function properly. Your gut needs B vitamins to digest properly. So they're just a fundamental element, if you will, of a fundamental part of how your body functions, and to have your body function really well. And when you're going into a stressful episode, you need more of the B vitamins because, as I mentioned earlier, when you stomp on the brakes, somebody cuts you off, you've blown them for the day.
Ah,
They're gone. They've evaporated in that one episode.
I mean, I've already used them up today. Because like you said, life is stressful. You got a lot going on. So, yeah, just illustrates even more why it's so important to take supplements. What else should we be taking during the winter?
Okay, so we've got vitamin C, B vitamins. How about zinc? We got a bottle of zinc here.
Mm, okay,
What do you
I
know
have
about
thoughts.
zinc?
I have thoughts on that.
You
You
do you?
go.
Okay.
You go.
Yeah, zinc is plays a role in protein and carbohydrate metabolism. And you can find it in things like oysters, but unless you're actually eating oysters a lot, you probably are deficient in zinc and don't know it. And there is a test that I used to do when I had my little store and had people actually come live, where I would give them a little bit of zinc on a teaspoon. And if they could taste it and have a really bad reaction to it, because zinc is pretty nasty tasting, then they have enough zinc in their body. Because without it, you don't actually taste it. So it could taste like pure water. So zinc, if you could actually even open the capsule and see if you can taste metallic, like a really strong metallic.
Hmm.
And then hey, I'm really low in zinc. So zinc helps, there's a number of products on the market that you can use during when you have a cold. Um, zinc with vitamin C is
Yep.
in lozenges. So the immune boosting abilities of zinc are well studied and known about, especially during the common cold. And there's a product there's a nasal swab that you can actually insert into your
Mm.
nose, and it will give you additional zinc in the area where you need it if you've got a head cold. So I've been using
Wow.
it this week and it works fabulous.
I
So,
100% agree with you, Lisa, on the zinc. And I used to take it all the time, um, just to, as a preemptive strike. Especially during the winter. I was taking the lozenges, and and a fair amount in them. But what I found was that it was wreaking havoc with my stomach, and I just stopped taking it. I'm going to get back onto it now that we're talking about it, but I think, for everybody, just to be careful, because it can really mess with you.
right. So if you are having that type of GI upset, you have enough zinc in your system.
Really?
Just back off. Right.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, and generally anything can upset anyone's stomach, and you don't need a whole lot of food in your stomach to take things that are known to upset it. So a teaspoon of yogurt or pudding, applesauce.
Yep.
It doesn't necessarily need to be a whole meal. So try that, little on the front, take the pill, little on the backside, and you should be fine.
Gotcha. All right, great. Actually, we have instant feedback. Somebody, who do we have? Michelle, who's in Charlotte, North Carolina, instant feedback, steve@gmail.com, is asking, should we take fish oil? And if so, how much?
Okay, so that definitely is among the top uh, supplements that you should take during the winter. There's a number of different oils in fish oils, and if it it's the EPA, which is eicosapentaenoic acid, EPA, is the one that's typically recommended in the wintertime. And about 1,000 milligrams of the EPA, or eicosapentaenoic acid, is the one that is recommended for the wintertime.
Hmm.
So fish oil reduces the risk of heart disease, eye disease, mental disorders. So it's very helpful as a baseline. It is a fat soluble vitamin, if you will. It's not really a vitamin, but it's a fat soluble fat. Okay. So we've talked about water soluble up to this point. We have water soluble vitamin C, the B vitamins, and zinc. Those are all water soluble. The fat soluble vitamins are A, D, E, and K, and of course, all the omegas. So EPA is a type of omega
Hmm.
fatty acid.
Is that also, and we're going to press the pause button for just a sec to grab a caller, but is that also, now we talk about EPA, there's DHA or DE, I'm trying to remember what it was.
Right, right, right. I didn't actually bring the bottle in to read it, but DHA is one that's really super important for babies and infants,
Yes.
brain health, and
I think it's your
it's
mental capacity too, right? It has a lot to do with that.
exactly. Yeah.
Okay, excellent. Ocala, Florida. We're gonna check in with who's this?
Hi, my name is Vanessa.
Vanessa. Welcome. Lisa's here. Say hi.
Hi.
I'm Vanessa.
Hi, I had a question. I wanted to know, how do I work on putting myself first? Sometimes I get a little overwhelmed with doing all sorts of different things. And I wanted to know how to get focused or readjust myself to, not become so overwhelmed and to put myself first.
Okay, that's a great question. It has really more to do with mindfulness and being in the moment. So we're going to switch gears and answer your question talking about that. So when you start to feel overwhelmed, Vanessa, take 3 deep breaths. And what that will do is reset your nervous system from fight or flight to rest and digest. So when you take those deep breaths, they're very intentional. And you're going to, when you're inhaling, your chest should lift a little bit and your stomach should inflate. So if you want to do that now, a nice deep breath, number 1, and blow it out. And number 2. And when you're exhaling, think of let go, let go, let go for this 3rd time. And inhale and let go, let go, let go. So, Vanessa, I'd like for you to try tomorrow morning before you even get out of bed. I'd like for you to think about how you'd like your day to go and what one thing that you can do for yourself to put yourself first. Because we've got competing priorities, people who are asking us for our time and our attention. And when that happens, absolutely, we can get overwhelmed. And so if you think about the uh, the process of putting yourself first by thinking, what is it that I can be doing right now? What is the most important thing for me to do right now? Which is actually question number 7 of the 7 mindful questions, which is the book that I've written. And it will help you figure out what's important and necessary to be done versus things that just sort of crop up, but they may not be as important in the greater scheme of things. So I hope that helps you, Vanessa.
It
Best of
did.
luck.
Thank you very much.
Yes, and you're local here in Ocala. I'm in Kissimmee, and hopefully we can connect one day in person.
Yes, thank you
Excellent.
very much.
Thanks so much for calling, Vanessa.
Thank you.
Bye. So I've a question about what you just did in terms of the breathing. Does it matter if you take the breaths or release the breaths from your mouth or your nose? Because I recently heard it should be through your nose. Does it matter?
There's several different schools of thought with regard to breathing. Um, right now, I'm breathing entirely through my mouth because of my head cold. But there's a technique called pranayama breathing, where you breathe in through one side of your nose and you exhale through the other. And that's the technical yogic breathing type that is very specific about breathing in through the nose. I'm not as prescriptive. I find that just stopping, taking that breath, and breathing does help to reset the nervous system. So there's school of thought either way, but I prefer whatever's most comfortable for you. And then, of course, after the 3rd breath, just return to breathing normally, because we don't want you to get what is that called, where you hyperventilate.
Hyperventilate, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what you just said with the in terms of breathing, are you with the yoga? Are you holding one nostril and then is that how it's okay?
Yes, I think how it goes is you put your pinky on one side and then you put your thumb on the other.
Yeah.
That's how it's done. Yeah.
See, for those of us that have a deviated septum, uh, it usually I'm breathing through my mouth if I want to do those bigger breaths to center and reset. But good stuff. All right, shall we get back to winter supplements?
All right. So we covered vitamin C, the B vitamins, zinc, and some fish oil. Let's move on to vitamin D. Vitamin D.
Hmm.
This is, you can see I buy it by the crate, the largest size that's available.
Wow.
This company, Carlson, are a family of pharmacists, highly well respected. Their quality of their fish oils and oil related supplements is very good. I highly recommend them.
Hmm.
So vitamin D is really super important in the winter because we don't get out into the sun. And so vitamin D plays a role in so many bodily functions. It helps calcium get absorbed, it boosts the immunity. We're finding out that it helps with gut inflammation and reducing inflammation, bone health. So vitamin D, your body can make it during the summertime, but in the wintertime, it's absolutely crucial for you to take at least 400 international units. The NIH actually recommends 600 international
Wow.
units. So between 400 and 600 would be just fine. It is a fat soluble vitamin. And remember, fat soluble vitamins, we all have little layers of fat in our body, right? So fat soluble vitamins, like dissolved like, go into your fatty tissue, and you can overdose on the fat soluble vitamins because they go out into
Hmm.
your tissues. So stick to the recommendations of 400 to 600 international units a day, and you should be fine.
And that brand, I want to just double check. Carlson's, is that Carlsen?
SON,
SON. Okay.
SON.
Um, Very important, as I've heard, to make sure what you're taking is good stuff and the right potency. I had a friend years ago he actually told me about fish oil, and he was very, very concerned about the quality and gave me a couple of different brands and basically said, don't walk into your local pharmacy and grab that thing off the shelf because it's probably not going to be in its purest form for fish oil. Does that apply to the vitamins? Maybe it does, but Carlson's, it's a respected brand, like you said, and it's a family of
Right.
pharmacists, so you know what you're getting. Might pay more, but you know what you're getting.
That's exactly right. So I personally, the supplements that I take and the ones that I recommend are manufactured in facilities that are of pharmaceutical grade standard.
Hmm.
So they have it's called Good Manufacturing Practices, GMP. Certified good manufacturing practices are the best. They're in factories where it's manufactured just as if there were drugs coming down the line, prescription drugs coming down the line. So Carlson is a good brand. This brand is called Solaray, also one of my favorites, very good product. This is called Now NOW, also a very good company. So yeah, there are many good companies out there, but there are also just as many disreputable companies because it's not as regulated as drugs are.
Hmm. Okay. Yeah. Thanks for sharing
And
that because it's so
and
important.
there's good and bad on either side of that. Yes, they're not as regulated, but that allows us a little bit more freedom to formulate them in a way that people can actually get the help that they need with certain ones.
Yep.
So, it's not a straightforward answer.
Yeah, but at least we have the brands. So you mentioned a few. So, big
Right.
plus there. I'm trying to think of the fish oil years ago. Um, it escapes me. Trying to think of the name.
we can talk about fish oil some more and omega fats next week
Yeah.
because they're so helpful with reducing inflammation. However, there are fats that increase. So it's the balance of fat that is important to maintain good health. And,
Nordic Naturals. I'm sorry.
that Nordic is fabulous.
Yeah,
Nordic is one of the best companies out there.
yeah, that and I felt comfortable in buying it from them. I think we're just about out of time. Anything else to add to supplements in like 60 seconds? Anything left? Did we hit all the important ones, you feel?
I'm going to do a Ask Me Anything this coming weekend on Saturday morning at 10 a.m.
Hmm.
So if anyone is interested in the Ask Me Anything, you can go to my link tree, and the link for that, it'll be an actual webinar link that people can dial in at 10 o'clock Saturday morning, and we'll answer questions live and see how that goes. So Linktree is www.linktr.ee/ and my name, Lisa, Lisa, Nezneski, Nezneski.
Fantastic. Yeah, you have so much knowledge, and you can't even find the time with your doctor to drill into a lot of these. And just what you said earlier about if you have a stressful moment, somebody cuts you off in traffic or whatever, and you've depleted your vitamin C for the day, like mind blowing. Like I've never, all these years, never knew that, never heard that, but so important because it just illustrates how important it is to be taking, your supplements.
Exactly. And from the mindfulness point of view, should you even allow yourself to get upset over something like that?
Well, there's the other part of it. Yeah, you're 100% right. And we don't know what happened with that other driver. Maybe they had a rough day, got a bad phone call, didn't even realize what they were doing. You flipping out and maybe flipping them off is not going to, what's it going to do? Nothing. They're going to drive away. You'll probably never see them again. And now you just depleted your vitamin C and stress yourself out. So yeah, good stuff. Good to know. Right. Lisa, always a pleasure having you on. Your website, I know it's your name. Please spell one more time.
www.lisa, Lisa, Nezneski, Nezneski.com.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Feel better too.
Thank you.
And Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you. All right.
Let's look to a really great 23, a healthy one as well. And I guess we'll catch you in the new year.
All right. Very good. Thanks again, Steve. Bye now.
Thank you.
Are you looking for even more of the podcasts and hosts that you love? The Podcast Business News Network is proud to announce that you now have even more ways to listen live. Check out the MyTuner Radio, online radio box, and Simple Radio apps on iOS and Android, or find us online. Search for Business News Network on mytuner-radio.com, or search Podcast Business News Network on streama.com and onlineradiobox.com/US. Take your podcast on the go and don't miss a minute of the action.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers.
Day-to-day simple tasks can become pretty daunting.
I have to carry my chair up 2 flights of steps or have somebody do it for me.
What scares me the most is just the falling.
When I'm struggling with my house, I think, to have that one great barrier just knocked down, it's crucial.
Home for Our Troops is a wonderful nonprofit that builds a
mortgage-free, fully adaptive, handicap-accessible house.
And there's no catch.
It'll be our very first home that we've ever owned.
This is a game changer.
This is where your life begins again.
We need you to join us in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Because of you, everything's going to be okay.